have, looks like it's move-ups or resets. The first person I have is Yenner. This is a Spanish. So I have Spanish first. Yep. All right, let me go ahead and call them. Did you know how to do this? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. This is such an upgrade, too. Yes. Oh, can I?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Ali Figueroa, this is Vice Commissioner.
That's what I want to know. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we're in courtroom 1 at the BRC if you want to connect into the podium.
The defendant can hear me, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
The defendant can hear me, Your Honor.
Oh, great, okay. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Jenner Leonardo Matias Ixchep. Jenner Leonardo Matias Ixchep.
Jenner Leonardo Matias Ixchep.
Sí.
All right, sir, you are here this morning because I need to address the first appearance detainers. And at this time, I'm not going to take any action on those cases, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was already done. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Marlena Echevarria.
Marlena Echevarria.
Tell me that again.
Marlena Echevarria.
All right, ma'am, this is 20MM 9009. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You're not to
Okay.
possess any weapons or firearms. You also need to comply with any DCF requests or investigations. I am going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, ma'am.
Okay. Ok, entendido. Muchas gracias.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Nelson Urbina.
Keep your mask up. Thank you.
Nelson Urbina.
Edelnelson Urbina.
Mr. Urbina, you were here in 20MM 9007. You were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, you have an offer for Mr. Urbina?
No, Your Honor, not this morning.
Pardon me?
Not this morning, Your Honor. I apologize
That's all right.
for the voice. Primarily because of our Resisting Without Violence diversion program.
All right. Mr. Urbina, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time. You may qualify for the state's diversion program. You'll be released later today, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Erin Zimmerman.
Ms. Zimmerman, how about Mr. Arturo Orozco? 2002 7764.
Misdemeanor non-playable.
Paperwork that is not matching up with the person. I'll usually ask them, and usually they'll say, oh, they bonded or they're medical. But if he doesn't have it, or they're, I don't know, and I usually give him the engine number. But he can look it up. Sure, no problem. Ms. Zimmerman, you don't need an interpreter, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Tell me your name, please.
Mi nombre es Arturo Orozco.
My name is Arturo Orozco.
Sir, this is 20MM 801. You were arrested for failing to appear at your pretrial conference. Ms. Bush, do you have an offer for Mr. Orozco?
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor, I just need one moment to check on cost, Your Honor.
So.
It's going to be a withhold, Your Honor, but I just need to check to see if there are any additional costs.
Sometimes it looks like, and then if they feel too big of a
It would be a withhold of adjudication, Your Honor, credit for time served, no contact with victim or witnesses, no return to the scene, and abide by all trespass warnings. And the scene is the El Tequila at 443 West Silver Star Road. And cost of investigation to the Ocoee Police Department in the amount of $136.73 and court costs.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. Mr. Thompson, would you like to find out if he'll take the offer? So if they did fail to, if they can resolve it, then we have a control rate. And so if they think that they're going to do it, we should see that.
No. Okay.
Your Honor, would the court have,
Pardon me?
would the court have any objection to an ROR in this case? My client's not an American citizen, and this may have immigration implications.
Yes, Mr. Thompson, he failed to appear.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why he's
okay.
before the court, so I'm not going to ROR him.
All right, well, I would just advise him not to accept the plea, but it's up to him.
Mr. Orozco, did you want to accept the plea, or did you want to, or not?
¿De qué oferta es?
What is the offer?
Excuse me?
¿Cuál es la oferta?
What is the offer?
It's a withhold of adjudication, credit for time served. You have to pay court costs. You can't go back to the tequila bar, and you need to abide by the trespass warning.
And a cost of investigation, Your Honor.
Yes.
Ok, está bien. Sí, acepto.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, sir. Did you read the plea form before court?
Sí.
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, todo está bien.
No, it's fine.
Are you on probation?
¿De qué?
Probation of what?
I don't know. Are you currently on probation for a criminal offense?
Your Honor, I see client has no criminal history.
Mr. Thompson, I can't hear a thing you're saying.
Oh, sorry, client has no criminal history. Can you hear me?
Okay. Mr. Roscoe, are you on probation?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Roscoe, I'm not going to take your plea at this time. Your bond is set at none. You'll need to have the public defender file a bond motion or set your case for a plea. Thank you, sir.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I do need to give you a court date, sir. Just 1 second. It's Division 80. Your pretrial date is going to be February 18th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 9C.
Ok, está bien, muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter. That's all I have today.
Not a problem.
Good
Oh,
morning.
Ms. Zimmerman?
She's actually, we skipped forum.
Oh, we did?
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. I just don't have, this Ms. Zimmerman is who I have next. Is this, are you Ms. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Brown, you are here in case number 20MM8871. This is your arraignment for the offense of battery. You're represented by the public defender. Mr. Thompson, would you like to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Brown.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
Division 63. Your next court date is January 28th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 12C.
12C.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So for the arraignment. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Nadine Mincy.
Ms. Mincy, this is 20MM194. This is your arraignment for the offense of trespass on property other than a structure or a conveyance. Ms. Bush, was there an offer for Ms. Mincy?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 7 days Orange County Jail. I believe she has 7 days credit time served. No contact with victim or witnesses. No return to the scene, which is the Winter Park Village at 480 North Orlando Avenue in Winter Park. Abide by all trespass warnings. Cost of investigation to the Winter Park Police Department in the amount of $148.14 and court costs.
All right. Ms. Mincy, did you want to accept the offer from the state?
Yes, I accept the offer.
Okay. Did you read the plea form before court?
The plea form?
The plea form that has all of the constitutional rights on it. Did you read that?
Yes, I don't have my glasses though.
Ms. Davis, do you have her down only having 1 day credit?
I'm sorry?
Do you have her only having 1 day credit?
Yeah, because I don't think she was ever in on that case.
Ms. Bush, she only has 1 day on this case.
And if I may have just one
Sure.
moment, and as I'm recalling, it is just the 1 day. I was reading off the sheet that I did not have her time served, and it's 7 days with 1 day credit time served because of the successive trespasses at the same location, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ready to move forward, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
We're ready to move forward.
Mr. Thompson, it's 7 days with 1 day credit time served.
No.
She doesn't want to accept, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
She does not want to accept.
Does not?
No.
Okay, Ms. Mincy, I'm gonna give you a court date in Division 85. Your pretrial conference is gonna be February 8th at 9 a.m. in courtroom 4A, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Thompson, it's super hard to hear you, so when you talk, can you please make sure you're next to the mic and project your voice?
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Deborah Soares.
Ma'am, you're here in 20 MM 8883. This is your arraignment for the offensive battery. You are represented by the public defender. Mr. Thompson, are you going to enter a plea of not guilty at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a Division 84 case, ma'am. Your next court date is going to be February 15th at 10 a.m. in courtroom 4B. Thank you.
Okay. Am I released?
Excuse me?
Am I released today?
No, ma'am.
No. February 15th, you said?
February 15th is your next court date.
Okay. I have a bond still, right?
I'm not sure. Does she have a bond on that case?
$350, right? Correct.
Yes, a $3,500 bond.
$3,500, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
thank you. You're welcome.
Good morning. Your name?
Aaron Zimmerman.
Ms. Zimmerman, yes. Good morning. You were here in 20 CF 5602. You were arrested for failing to appear for court on a possession of cocaine charge. Your bond is set at none, ma'am. You also have 20 MM 8755. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. The bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case. Thank you, ma'am. I do it every day. Yes. So they're. Unless they tell me. So on these two, like, I'll show you when we work off the afternoon. I tag the person has multiple people. Otherwise, there's so much extra paperwork sometimes, like especially if it's been recent. So I just use these until. Good morning.
Morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Travis James Beal.
Mr. Beal, you're here in 20 MM 8985. You were arrested for battery. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to return to the scene or have any contact with the victim. You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Your bond is $500. Thank you.
I can't make that. Is there any chance I get an OR, ma'am?
No, sir. Thank you.
So I just sit?
You have to have your lawyer file a motion.
This one. Stephen Adam recused, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to find a waiver of Mr. Haddon's appearance based upon his refusal to come to court in 20 MM 8978. He was arrested for battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent him. Bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. He's not to return to the 7-Eleven or have any contact with the victim. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Blake Nevelis.
Mr. Nevelis, you are here, sir, In 20 MM 8987, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. Also in 20 MM 8988, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. And you have 20 CF 14971, you were arrested for tampering with physical evidence and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause for each of the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Bond in 20 MM 8987 will be 100. Bond in 20 MM 8988, you'll be ROR'd on that case.
Thank you.
And in 20 CF 14971, bond on count 1 is 500. Bond on count 2, you'll be ROR'd.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I can bond out. Thanks a lot. 600.
Good morning, your name?
Jacques Noel.
Mr. Noel, sir, you are here in 20 CF 14967. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Your bond, sir, is $1,000. Thank you.
Is there any questions I can ask, Your Honor?
Pardon me?
Is it possible to ask the bench any questions?
To ask a question to who?
To the bench.
To the bench, Your Honor.
What's your question, sir?
So basically, the charge that was against me was grand theft auto
Correct.
of a motor vehicle that I had rented, and I had the proper rental
Well, hold on,
agreement.
just a second. So listen, you're trying to explain to me your defense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's something you need to talk to your lawyer about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm just telling you what you were arrested for and setting your bond, but you're going to want to talk to your lawyer and explain what your defense is to your lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Period Brown. Joshua Thayer is mental health nurse.
All right. Mr. Thompson, I'm going to appoint your office to represent him. Would you like to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
He was arrested in 20 CF 14696 for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. This was pursuant to a warrant. Bond on count 1 is $1,500. Bond on count 2 is $100. And he was also arrested in 20 MM 8971 for possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender in that case as well. Bond on count 1 is 500. Bond on count 2 is 100. I don't have the out on bond form. Okay, so like on this one, it's a reset. It's probably why you don't have the form. But I know that he's out on bond because you can see it here. Defendant out on bond. Normally, like you'll see like these, if it's a new case, or the first time they're here, they'll have those full forms. So what I'll do is I'm gonna ask Ms. Davis if she can tell me the case number for the out on bond. Oh, I have it. I'm just gonna look. So what I'll do is I'll just do this. Because I have to see. I want to see what he's out on bond for.
I was like, well.
Just one moment, ma'am. Thank you. 2020 CF. Oh, okay. So I'll talk to you more about that later, about the decision, but, okay. So, and then in 20 CF 5886, I'm going to revoke the bond. In that case, bond will be set at none. All right. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name.
Shakiria Brown.
Ms. Brown, you are here in case number 20 CF 15002. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a motor vehicle. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Ma'am, do you live with the alleged victim?
Yes, it's my apartment. He reside with me.
All right, so I'm going to give you a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. If they're not there, then you're allowed to be there, but if in the event that they are at the apartment, you can't. Do you understand?
Okay, if he returns and I'm there, do I leave? If he comes back? Because he's in Tampa now. But if I do
Well,
end
does
up,
he live there?
no, he was there with me for a couple of weeks, but I'm the only person that's on my lease.
Okay,
And he gets no mail at my residence.
okay. All right, I can't make him leave there if he's still there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I'm saying he's not there. He's in Tampa,
Okay.
like currently. But I'm saying if I go back to my residence and he comes back, do I need to leave?
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm going to place you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Good morning, Matthew Carter.
Mr. Carter, you were here in 20 CF 15001. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a weapon and battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I will place you on pretrial release at this time. Thank you.
What does that mean? I'm confused.
Okay.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Debbie Dietz.
Ms. Dietz, this is 20 CF 15007. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a weapon. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you on pretrial release, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
I'm placing you on pretrial release.
Oh, what is?
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, sir?
Luis Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, sir, you are here in 20 CF 15005. You were arrested for battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and domestic violence. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Rivera, thank you. Just make sure you keep your mask up for me. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 100. Thank you, sir.
So, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I live there. We both live there.
Right, so you can't live there with her right now.
What was it?
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Christopher.
Are you Mr. Torres?
Yeah.
Mr. Torres, this is 20 CF 15003. You were arrested for aggravated battery, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $1,500, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Your name? What is it?
Bobby Bell.
Mr. Bell, sir, you are here in case number 20MM8997. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. Your bond is $500. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Tavon Ferguson.
Mr. Ferguson, this is 20MM 9002. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You can go back one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Your bond, sir, is going to be $1,000. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Elvis Gainey.
Mr. Daney, this is 20MM 1030. You were arrested for violating a domestic injunction. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to abide by the injunction in 17 DR 3475. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Bond will be $1,500. I'm revoking the bond in 20 MM 6653. That will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
Revoking your bond, what do you mean? Revoking your bond. John Ray Lewis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Andrew Gibson.
Mr. Gibson, this is 20 MM 9001. You were arrested for assault domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Deja Gear.
Ma'am, I need you to move right up to the microphone for me.
Deja Gear.
I still can't hear you.
Deja Gear.
All right, Ms. Gear, thank you. I need you to keep your mask up for me when you're in the booth, and then I really do need you to be right next to that microphone. It's very hard to hear. Could you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Gear, do you want to have contact with Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Okay. And do you currently live together?
Yes.
Do you want to continue living together?
Yes.
Do you have any children together?
Yes.
And how many children?
4.
Pardon me?
4.
4?
Yes.
And do you have any concerns about their safety or your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No.
How long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Gibson?
Going on 6 years.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gray, can't hear you.
Going on 6 years.
All right. And during those 6 years, ma'am, have there been any instances of violence between the two of you?
No, arguing and stuff, but that's normal relationship problems.
Have there been any instances of physical violence between the two of you?
No, not really, no.
Excuse me?
No.
Okay. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, Ms. Gear, you responded to the judge initially with no, not really, when she asked about physical violence. Has there ever been a time that law enforcement was called in which there was domestic violence in your home?
Yes.
Were you the named victim?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
January.
I'm sorry?
January.
January of this year,
Yes.
correct? Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance might have contributed to Mr. Gibson's behavior?
No.
If something like this act and this violence or the prior violence were to occur again, would you be comfortable if you felt threatened in calling law enforcement?
Yes.
I have no further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Anything from you on the defense?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gibson, at this time, I'm going to order that you're not to have any contact with Ms. Gear. You are to maintain a separate residence. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Would your mom be able to facilitate contact regarding your children?
I guess.
Yes?
I guess.
Yes.
All right, I'll have to have your lawyer file a motion then. So, no contact, maintain a separate residence, do not possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. Your bond is $500, and I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond.
I got a question.
What's your question, sir?
What if I already have a firearm in my name?
Excuse me?
What if I already have a firearm in my name?
You gotta turn it over.
I don't understand your question.
Your Honor, he's saying that he has a firearm, and he's asking what he should do about that.
Okay.
I have a question as well. I have a question.
Just a moment, ma'am. Sir, if you do have a firearm, you will need to surrender that within 6 hours of your release from jail. Just make sure you call the non-emergency number for your police department in your jurisdiction, and they'll explain to you what you need to do. Okay? Thank you. What's your question, ma'am?
How come we can't have contact? Because
I can't hear you.
how come we can't have contact? We have kids together.
I understand. You'll have to have the lawyer file a motion, but based upon the facts that are contained in the affidavit, along with the testimony provided in court at this time, I'm going to order no contact. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, did you take any actions on the Allen bond?
I took no action.
Okay.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Summer Haywood.
Ms. Haywood, this is 20MM9004. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, ma'am. Thank you.
Do I have a bond, or how does that work?
No, you're going to be released on pretrial.
Okay.
So you won't have to pay a monetary bond.
Got it.
Good morning. Your name?
Good morning.
Tell me your name, sir.
Deontay Jones.
Mr. Jones, you were arrested in 20MM9000 for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release, sir. Thank you.
I'm getting released today, right? Okay. Yeah, you see how it's sticking in my hand.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Joan Young.
Miss Young, this is 20MM8996. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I am going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brianna Christopher Bonnie, Your Honor.
I don't have that one.
Who do you have there?
I have Levince Tilmay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, you were arrested in 20 CT 1060 for DUI. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. We're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. Your bond is $500, sir. Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Joko Tiscareno.
Ma'am, you were arrested in 20 CT 169 for failing to appear for your pretrial conference.
Yes.
Your bond is $2,000. I need to give you a court date. This is Division 63. Ma'am, your pretrial conference date is going to be January 28th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 12C. The
Okay.
bond is $2,000, and I'm not going to take any action on your other case.
Okay, I have a question. I think the bond is paid already, so I just have to.
Right, but you had a hold. I don't know if the bond has been paid or not.
It hasn't been paid because she had a hold, but she also now has an ICE detainer.
Okay, so ma'am, it appears that your bond has not been paid. You did have the hold, which I've released the initial appearance hold on your other driving case.
Okay.
But now you have an ICE detainer, so you won't be released until they come and speak with you, and that hold is also released.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the bond is not paid, so they don't have to pay the bond until whatever ICE decides if they're gonna pick me up or not.
Right, so even if they post the bond right now, you're still not gonna get out until ICE has decided what they're gonna do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. Sir, good morning, your name?
Jelani Kamal Willa Jones.
Mr. Wheeler, you are here in case number 20 CT 1710 and 20 CT 1711. You were arrested for DUI with property damage and no valid driver's license. I find probable cause for a regular DUI and for no valid driver's license. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard at all?
Your Honor, the state's not going to make a request.
Okay, thank you. Bond on count 1 will be $500. Bond on count 2 is $100. Sir, you're not to drive without a valid driver's license, and you're not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol. All right, thank you. Sure. Yep. Nope, 500, 100. Please shut up. Okay. Right there, Jay. She'll attach them for you. So I can look at them. And then I just take them there and then I take them and show them. The state and the PD have access to them as well. And they can.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Nelson Nieves is medically known.
I don't know. Nelson?
Arraignment?
Nelson Nieves, you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Medical? Okay. Mr. Thompson, you do represent him. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is Division 80. Oh, I took the wrong sheet. Pretrial conference is February 18th at 9 a.m., courtroom 9C. So these are all the internal arraignments. It's a bummer, because that should probably get resolved. But it's medical. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name.
Freddie Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 20 MM 170. This is your arraignment for trespass and a conveyance.
Your Honor, the defense will enter a plea of not guilty.
Was the summons served, Ms. Bush?
Yes, it was, Your
Okay.
Honor. And if the court wishes, I do have the service date. It was served on December 16th.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. So, usually okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, you entered a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Williams, your next court date in Division 84 is going to be February 15th at 10 a.m., and that is in courtroom 4B. Thank you, sir. Mr. Thompson, have we heard from the interpreter? Okay. Mr. Jones, Marquise Jones, or William Marquise Jones?
That was set for a plea?
Nope, it's in jail arraignment.
I'm sorry, Marquise Jones was ROR.
Okay. Should we give him a PTC date? So, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Jones was released. Your office does represent him. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty and set it for pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's in Division 61. Pretrial conference February 1st at 9:30 a.m. in courtroom 6B. And then Kenson Lloyd.
He was bonded, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Thompson, you also represent Mr. Lloyd. Did you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a Division 63 case, pretrial conference, January 28th, 8:30 a.m., courtroom 12C. And then I have Mr. Furmansky, who's the out-of-county plea.
Medical, Your Honor.
Medical, like medical quarantine.
Yes.
So should I not reset it for tomorrow
No.
or Wednesday?
No.
Okay. Darn it. Okay, thank you. I'll set this, I usually like when I do these, if they're set for medical, I always Jill prepares this paperwork, so Teresa will do that for you. I'll just take it back. I'll bring that back. Okay, and then we'll move on to the 33-day motions whenever you're ready, Ms. Bush.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we have a sign yet?
No.
So I think we might have to do Mr. Thompson this afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer on Mr. Thompson's case?
Yes, it's actually on that case and another case that is pending.
Oh, okay, and those are the only cases he has?
That's as far as I could see, yes, Your Honor. And both victim properties are the same.
They're both what?
The same victim property in both
Okay,
cases.
are they time served or close?
No, it's a 30-day offer in the case that's before the court today, and he has 25 days credit time served. The other case, 8352, is a credit time served.
Okay. So, Ms. Davis, are you looking to see if he has any other holds?
Yeah, he doesn't have any other holds except for those two cases.
Okay, so we're good to reset that one for the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still gonna try to contact them.
Okay.
But right now, she's.
Or second session. Yeah. We're gonna do Mr. Thompson, the sign interpreter, in the second session.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's today? So this will have your names at the bottom, and you just circle your name so they know who did it. My J.A. This for me. Sometimes they're not right because like she's showing it's okay, and then like granted it's okay for you. This is one of the sometimes she'll say okay that it stays like that. So.
Your Honor. For Mr. Thompson, who we're supposed to be doing this afternoon, I have an email from the attorney assigned to his case that he has competency issues that he's going to file for an evaluation. So could we just enter a plea of not guilty?
Okay. That's in case number 20MM8549. Mr. Thompson, you're going to waive your client, Mr. Thompson's appearance then?
I have it as 2020 8352.
Well, the only case before the court is 8459.
Okay, well,
I was making the offer for the pending case as well as the one that's before the court today.
okay. I guess I'll figure it out myself. I'll assess him on second session. If I feel like he's competent, I'll go forward with it.
Okay.
Thank you, Your
They're
Honor.
both credit time served offers, Mr. Thompson. He has
Okay.
no other holds or
Okay.
pending cases.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways.
Got two claims.
These are just all your contact orders. Ms. Bush, do you want to do the 33 days in the second session?
I may have just a second to see.
Now we are. I thought we were the whole time. I did. Weird. Well, yeah, because when I came in, I thought we were on. When I looked over, it was on.
Oh, it was on when I came here.
Right.
And Your Honor, was the PD appointed on Ms. Didell?
I will appoint the public defender if they weren't previously
Thank you.
appointed. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Joshua Garland.
Mr. Garland, sir, you are here in 20 CF 4724. You failed to appear for court. At this time, your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Bradford Hendrick. Bradford Hendrick.
Sir, you are here in 20 CF 14981. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is going to be $2,500, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Brian Benchervich.
Sir, this is 20 CF 14999. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle, possession of a controlled substance. There's probable cause. The bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You were also arrested in 20 CT 7911 for driving with a suspended driver's license. Your bond in that matter will be $100. You're not to drive without a valid driver's license, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Hagai Shimoni.
Sir, you are here in case number 20 CF 15000. You were arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, did you have a birthday for the alleged victim?
Yes, Your Honor, with the court, does the court want a copy of the victim list? The age is 79 years of age, Your Honor.
All right, and that's contained in the final page of the affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I just don't have page 3 of 3.
And that's contained on the witness form.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. The court does find probable cause. Sir, you're not to have any contact with the victim. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you live with the alleged victim?
Yeah, he's my landlord.
All right, sir, so you're going to be able to have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed.
Right.
You'll need to call the non-emergency number for the police in your jurisdiction. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
I am?
Yes.
Pretrial release? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Charles Smith.
Mr. Smith, you are here in case number 20 CF 6336. You failed to appear for court in that matter, sir. Your bond is set at none. You were also arrested in 20 MM 8998 for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in all of the cases this morning, sir. Your bond on count 1 is $500. You will be ROR'd as to count 2. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case. Thank you.
Can I get a bond on that?
I can't give you a bond on the capias. You have to have your lawyer file a bond motion with the judge who issued the capias. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Delvin Smith.
Mr. Smith, you have 2 cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in both. You have 20 CF 14996. You were arrested for carrying a concealed firearm and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. And in 16 CT 9038, you failed to appear for court on a driving while license suspended case. Your bond, sir, is $2,000. Thank you. He needs a date? Just 1 second, sir. I just need to give you a pretrial date. That's a Division 83 case. PTC is January 20th. What's your last name? Smith. And your time is 1:30 in courtroom 6C.
All right.
Thank you. On the cases. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Patrick Snap.
Mr. Snap, you're here in 20 CF 13183. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias. The state has filed an information.
Not really, not good.
Charging you with 5 counts of possession of material. Oh, no. Mr. Snap, can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, this is 20 CF 13183. Mr. Snap, you were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for 5 counts of possessing material depicting sexual performance by a child and for video voyeurism. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
I have an attorney.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they planning on being present here today?
Well, came in last night. I talked to my sister because I didn't have his phone number.
Okay.
And she was supposed to get a hold of him to be here at 1 o'clock.
Who's your lawyer?
Mark Matthews.
Who?
Or Matthew Mark. Matthew Mark.
Matthews Bark?
Mark, M-A-R-K.
I believe it's Matthews Bark.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be present today?
Well, as far as I know. But I was told the hearing wasn't until 1 o'clock, so he may still be in his office or whatever.
There is? Hi, good morning. This is Judge Carter calling for Mr. Bark. Sure, I am in first appearance actually right now, and I have a defendant, Mr. Snap, and he's indicated that Mr. Bark is representing him. However, I don't have a notice of appearance, so I just wanted to see if that was correct. Okay, is there a way, I don't know if he's in court or if there's a way we can call him because the hearing was moved up, given the docket for today. Absolutely. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the rest of the docket and maybe you could just give him a call and let him know I'll be calling him shortly. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. All right, so Mr. Snap, I'm just going to recall your case at the end of the docket.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Your attorney's going to appear by phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Regina Taylor.
Ms. Taylor, you were here in 20 CF 14988. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You were also arrested in 20 CT 7915 for driving without a valid driver's license. And there's also probable cause for that offense, ma'am. In 20 CF 14988, your bond is going to be $1,000. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription, and I'm going to have you tested through pretrial release. And in 20 CT 7915, your bond will be $100. You are not to drive without a valid driver's license. I'm not going to revoke your bond on your out on bond case, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So basically, what's that? So basically, how much is it to get out?
I don't know. You'll have to call the bondsman and ask him what you'll be required to post.
So both of them have bonds on them, though, right?
You do, yes.
Okay. So $200 probably.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Joshua Brinson.
Mr. Brinson, you were here in 19 CF 4030 for violating your probation. It is alleged that you failed to successfully complete the batter's intervention program. The bond is set at none, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. In that case, you're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days. And in 20 MM 1029, you were arrested for resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. Your bond is $500. And in 20 CT 1712, you were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. There is probable cause. Your bond is $100, and you're not to drive without a valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I see Judge Whitehead in 7 to 10 days.
On the VOP.
Okay.
Good morning, your name?
Moses Warren.
Mr. Warren, sir, you were here in 16 CF 12351. You are here for violating your probation. Sir, it is alleged that you have committed a new law offense of possession of, I'm sorry, not a new law offense, that you were in possession of cocaine by testing positive on October 16th of 2020. Sir, your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
I have a
Who did?
I have attorney.
She's telling me, just 1
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry.
No problem. So like, sometimes they'll write this. Miss Bone? Oh, Miss Bone is representing you? Okay, so you're gonna wanna get in contact with her, let her know that you were arrested on the VOP warrant, and she'll know who to set the bond hearing. In Division 15, you have Judge Wilson. Okay, so she might be able to get in front of Judge Wilson before the arraignment with Judge
holidays.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Okay?
All right,
Thank you, sir. Oh, in the road. Good afternoon. Your name?
Eric Munoz.
Mr. Munoz, you are here as soon as I can scan this.
Do I work here? No.
I said, as soon as I can scan this. I'm trying to scan the form. You don't work here, do you?
Well, no, but I am United States Naval veteran. So, as far as the United States is concerned, anywhere I am, any government office, government agency, federal buildings, I respect.
Got it. Okay. Well, Mr. Munoz, you were here for an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County related to a DUI. Your bond, sir, is $4,000. If you are not able to post that bond, Lake County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
So Lake County is one of the counties that is transporting. So I don't. Yeah, they're doing that. It's interesting though. So the Fifth Circuit, it's like Marion, Lake, Yep. The only one that's transporting is Lake. But maybe only with us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if like Sumter is doing it with other people, but I know that the other ones, we still have to reach out to the Fifth on those other counties. It's by county, not circuit. All right, and then I'm gonna call 20MM8459, Mr. Thompson. We were unable to get an ASL interpreter today for Mr. Thompson, and so his case will be reset for tomorrow for arraignment. And then I'm gonna call Mr. Barks. Mr. Bark. Oh, and will you do it for me? And then we'll just need Mr. Snap.
Yeah. Good. Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning. Is this Mr. Bark?
Yes, it is.
Hi, sir. This is Judge Carter calling from the IA courtroom.
Yes, Judge, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. I have Mr. Snap present in front of me. I know he indicated that he'd retained you and that you were planning on being here at 1. But we had a condensed docket today, so I wanted to just make sure that you were able to appear on this case.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to call the case. Mr. Snap, this is 20 CF 13183. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for 5 counts of possession of material depicting sexual performance by a child and video voyeurism. Mr. Barks, the stay has filed a 6-count information in this case. Bond was previously set on the capias at $5,000 on each count, except for on the voyeurism, it was set at $100. Did you want to be heard on bond?
No, that's a fair bond.
Okay. Then at this time, I'm going to stay the bond as stated on the capias. The bond total is $25,100, sir. Additionally, you're not to have any contact with any witnesses. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence, and you're not to return to the scene. Does Mr. Snap, do you need a one-time return with the police to get your things?
You mean my personal items here in the prison?
Correct.
Yes.
No. She means the house.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good.
He no longer lives there, Your Honor.
Okay.
I live in another state now. So.
Okay, good. All right, I misunderstood you, Mr. Snap. I'm sorry.
I misunderstood you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Burke, anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much for calling me.
You're very
I appreciate
welcome. All right, thank you, Mr. Snap.
Actually, Judge, one thing.
Sure.
Could I just advise Mr. Snap, I'll be calling his sister now so that we can work on getting him out.
Okay. Mr. Snap, did you hear that your lawyer's working on the bond at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
All right, and then I believe we just have the 33-day motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. From this morning. 20 CF 13769 Cody Amon.
Your Honor, our records show that he was ROR'd on the 18th.
Yes, it was, say it was already granted. So I'm gonna take no action on this case. '20 CF 13721 Jose Gonzalez.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 13676 Brian Padilla.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
That will be granted. 20 CF 13829 Joshua Faulkner.
A notice of non-filing on December 18th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 13819 Melissa Hodges.
A notice of non-filing on December 16th.
That will be granted. 20 CF 12777 Ardia Thompson.
An information was filed on December 21st. Filing ID is 11851-6434.
6434?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. That'll be denied. 20 CF 13835 Ricky Walton.
An information was filed on December 18th. Filing ID is 11847-4248.
All right, that'll be denied. All right, anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, then court will be in recess.